Buckle your seatbelts because we've got 15 totally insane Call of Duty anecdotes coming right up. Modern Warfare's Clean House mission has players clearing out a house full of terrorists. And at the top of the stairs, you open a door and find yourself face to face with a woman holding a baby in her arms. If you shoot the woman, you've made the right call. You saved the baby. If you shoot the baby, it's game over. And if you shoot the baby 3 times in a row, you'll get this message.
You serious?
Call of Duty is more than just a fast action firefight everywhere all the time. It also has stories told by some of the biggest names in Hollywood. We've got Kit Harington, for example, in Infinite Warfare, Kevin Spacey in Advanced Warfare, Ron Perlman in Black Ops 3, and even Ice Cube in Black Ops, who definitely comes away on top of that list. Whether you've played Modern Warfare 2 or not, you've more than likely heard of the mission, No Russian. It was strongly criticized for putting players in the shoes of a terrorist and having them shoot civilians in a Russian airport. The Russian government, for one, was not a fan and deleted the mission from the game. Few people know that you can actually skip the mission or just decide not to shoot at all. And actually, if you shoot civilians in the German or Japanese versions of the game, you'll be delivered a massive game over. If those words don't mean anything to you, that's normal. You'll never get to test it, unless you're in China, where Activision buddied up with Tencent Games to develop this totally free-to-play game. Karachi is one of Modern Warfare 2's most iconic maps, and it's based on the city of the same name in Pakistan. On the map, you can find bars and restaurants. The thing is, though, everything's written in Arabic, but the main language in Karachi is Urdu. Obviously, people wrote into Activision to ask them to fix it, but no fixes have been forthcoming. All they'd have to do is open Wikipedia to simply get the memo. Verdansk is Call of Duty Warzone's first and best map, but it wasn't just born out of developers' imaginations. It takes direct inspiration from monuments in Ukraine. The stadium, for example, is Donbass Arena's Shakhtar Donetsk, and campers' favorite control tower is actually at the Donetsk airport. The dam is Dnieper's hydroelectric center, and Verdansk's parliament is actually based on Ukraine's parliament building. Have a guess for the amount of money Modern Warfare 3 initially generated in just 5 days. $100 million, you say? Way off. It's actually $775 million. In just 5 days, Modern Warfare 3 managed to blow the previously held record of $650 million worth of copies sold by Black Ops totally out of the water. Oh, and then, you know, that franchise you might have heard of, Grand Theft Auto, arrived and absolutely slammed that out of the park with a nice, tidy sum of $815 million. You heard it here first. Nothing but GTA 6 is going to take that record down. In Modern Warfare, players pick up a mission known as the Highway of Death. And turns out, Activision didn't just come up with that. The Highway of Death is the name given to the highway that runs from Kuwait to Basra in Iraq. And during the Gulf War in February of 1991, it was bombarded by the US, Canada, France, and the UK. An event that today is considered to be a war crime. But yeah, in the game, that's not exactly how it goes. The character accompanying you says that the Russians bombarded this during the invasion, killing the civilians who tried to flee, which is a little bit of a rewrite of actual history. In the campaign for Call of Duty Vanguard, you can play not just one, but 4 different characters. And once again, these characters didn't just spring from developers' minds. The Russian sniper, Polina Petrova, for example, is based on Lyudmila Pavlichenko, one of the greatest elite snipers in the Soviet Union. And then there's Lieutenant Arthur Kingsley, who takes inspiration from Sergeant Sidney Cornell, a British parachutist who parachuted down behind enemy lines on June 6, 1944. That's right, North Korea has used Call of Duty as propaganda for nuclear weapons. If you're familiar with COD, you'll quickly recognize these images from Modern Warfare 3. In the propaganda video, we see a young man who's sleeping peacefully and dreaming of a world in which North Korean space vessels fly the skies and New York is engulfed by flames. It pretty much makes no sense, and on top of that, they added Lionel Richie and Michael Jackson's "We Are the World" behind it, which is just absolutely chaotic. From Painted Black and Satisfaction to Angie, the Stones have no shortage of absolute classics, but they can also raise a glass to Call of Duty Black Ops because both Gimme Shelter and Sympathy for the Devil were used in the game's official soundtrack, which dropped in 2011 and brought massive popularity to both tracks. Remember this iconic mission in COD 4? Bet you didn't know that it was created by a single developer. Not even Activision was aware of that. Mohammed Alavi managed to create a code that caused the NPCs, the bad guys, in other words, to react differently depending on where you found them. For example, if you lie down in the grass, your enemy won't see you, even if they walk right by. It took 3 months and some 10,000 lines of code for Alavi to create just the first minute of the level. The main designer behind the game liked it so much that they wound up using it as the base AI for the entire game. Absolutely genius. Modern Warfare 2 is known for its iconic maps, and Favela is no exception. But the map was actually deleted from the game for 17 days. Why? Well, turns out that map included a bathroom with, above the toilets, an inscription in Arabic which read, "Allah is beautiful and loves beauty." But Islam holds that it's actually forbidden to say anything about the religion of Islam in a bathroom. The map was retired for 2 weeks in order to correct the error. If there's any one character who truly represents this license, it's Simon Ghost Riley. But have you ever wondered why he wears the mask? Ghost was once sent to track down a man named Manuel Roba. He and his team were right on the cusp of getting their hands on the drug runner when they fell right into a trap and into absolute hell, including torture and brainwashing. And while Simon was being tortured, Roba watched it all with the painting of a ghost on his face. Worst of all, the men were burned alive and left for dead. Miraculously, Simon survived. He took his revenge on Manuel Roba, then passed himself off for dead, leaving behind him nothing but a ghost. Today, the Call of Duty franchise includes no less than 19 main titles. But since the very first game was released in 2003, there have also been 5 games which the studio never released, including 2011's Call of Duty Vietnam,